So I told myself I wasn't going to actually make a video today because I have a lot of homework and lectures I need to catch up on before finals next week. But then I looked online and saw that there was a huge patch coming out. Patch 20.4 is coming out tomorrow, June 3rd. And I'm going to go over all the cards in the Wailing Caverns. But first, I'm going to go over the patch notes, which consist of 3 nerfs, 2 Paladin and 1 Shaman. But I'm pretty sure the Shaman nerf is for Wild, and then also go over the fact that there's some Battlegrounds changes, Duels changes, Arena changes, new card backs and skins will be available for Gold, the Book of Mercenaries and Heroes will be coming out soon, and then also some bug fixes, but there are a lot of those and you don't need to go over that. But anyway, we have First Day of School going from a 1 mana add 3 cards to 1 mana add 2 cards, which is what it should have become anyway. It honestly should have just become a 1 mana add 2 random 1-cost cards to your hand from the beginning. I don't know why they increased it to 3. But luckily, this is the nerf that we're getting. So now it's still going to cost them mana, but they're not going to get as many resources. So now it feels like a kind of lackluster turn 1 play. And I actually think that I would rather just run a Righteous Protector over this card. Because I think Righteous Protector is really good. So that way I have a guaranteed turn 1 play that I can try to pump turn 2 with Hand of Adal, but that's getting nerfed too, but we will talk about that in just a second. But overall, I think that this nerf is actually pretty bad. Do I think it'll still be played? Yeah. Do I think it'll still be played in like Big Paladin? So that way you don't have to run like minions in your deck and stuff? Absolutely, it'll still see play. But in decks where it's either this or another 1-drop, I would probably choose another 1-drop like Righteous Protector or Argent Squire, because a 1/1 Divine Shield or 1/1 Divine Shield with Taunt is just very sticky, and it'll probably survive till the Hand of Adal turn. Hand of Adal is getting nerfed from a 2 mana 2/2 draw a card to a 2 mana +2/+1 draw a card, which is actually a pretty big deal, because one of the big reasons why Hand of Adal was problematic is because you could put this on a higher health minion, like a 1/3, and it would basically become unkillable. But making the card become a 3/4 instead of a 3/5 after Hand of Adal is much more killable. And even if you put it on like a 2/2, making it a 4/3 is so much easier to kill than a 4/4. Because at 3 health, it can die to a lot of different removal. It can die to a 3 mana or a 2 mana 3/2 2-drop or something like that. So this nerf means that removing a minion on the board is going to be a ton easier. And it actually makes it so that if a minion sticks on the board, you're not going to get as punished. Obviously, I still think Hammer of Naru and some other stuff in Paladin is overtuned. I still think that Paladin is going to be a top deck. But I do think that this will bring Paladin down maybe about 1% in win rates, and maybe some of the lower ranked classes will come up a little bit, and I think Hunter will also go up quite a bit, because now with Paladin having a weaker early game, Hunter has more of an opportunity to just steamroll them, because Hunter's already really strong right now. Next, we have a nerf to the Unbound Elemental. Whenever you play a card with Overload, gain +1/+1. To after you play a card with Overload, gain +1/+1. And this helps in a few niche situations. I'm pretty sure there's a card that says do 5 damage to everything in Wild, and the Overload's 3 or something like that. So now, instead of playing that card, having this gain +1/+1 and surviving the Overload, now the Overload card will go off, killing this, and then the effect would activate if it survived. I'm not entirely sure what other ways that this will actually be useful in Wild, because I don't play it, but if there is something that's going on in Wild where this card is too strong, that is what the nerf will do. The Overload card will resolve, the effect will happen before Unbound Elemental's ability activates, rather than it happening when you play the card. Then we have some Battlecry cards, or not Battlecry, we have some Battlegrounds new heroes. We have Mutanus with a 0 mana hero power, remove a friendly minion, split its stats onto another, and get a gold. So you basically get to sell a minion, but also get some benefit out of it. So if you're just, cycling through a little bit, trying to find a certain minion or making space, this is a great card to just kill something off and get some stats out of it. Next you have Guff. Give a friendly minion of each tavern tier +2/+1. So this is good if you have like a well-rounded well-rounded board of a ton of different things. They give synergies from Tavern 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and even 6. This could be insane. And I'm going to be honest, I don't play Battlegrounds that much. I usually get to around 5k and stop whenever I do play, so I'm not going to pretend to be super knowledgeable, but I've got to say, I do think that these abilities seem relatively interesting. This basically is just a better sell for once a turn, and then the guff is gonna be like a unique new kind of build where you try to keep things from multiple different tiers and just go for crazy stat lines. And then yeah, a nerf to Hex Ruin Marauder, or a new minion Hex Ruin Marauder. And I don't know. I don't play Battlegrounds that much. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. This was just a quick one. We're gonna go over all of the Wailing Cavern stuff in a second. So stay tuned for that. Watch that video if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one.